let's start with the products that I have right here. So I'm going to start with Color Ask first up. Now this is a product that I have released. It is a wonderful book and information in connection with colors. Now of course there is only 12 cards. So you will find that these 12 cards can be used individually. Each card has information on it, such as an affirmation. It also talks about your finances for that current situation. It could talk about your relationships, give you an insight into your career, and also the daily influence of bringing that particular color through. Now, these are really great because you can use these cards on their own without even referring to the book. But sometimes we have bigger information that we would like to know. We want to know more. That's our human nature. So what we tend to find is that this book enables you a great opportunity to not understand only beautiful layouts that can be done to enhance your readings. There is also information in connection with your angels and guides. So this gives you a very strong relationship to which angel represents what color. Also, it helps you to understand what that angel may be able to help when you are, because we all do pray and we all do connect with our angels and our guides, but to be able to help you get that same focus that you're looking for. Also, I have a discussion on the Ascended Masters, and this also helps you to be able to understand when you're asking a more spiritually in-depth question, which angel or which guide is prevalently around you, then you would be able to tell because you're able to go back and have a look at the reference here and see what color their relationship is. Now, what you will find is that the book also has a very beautifully set out. It talks about the color blue, for instance, exactly like it does on the card. And then you will find your affirmation. You'll find the overall influence, which is a little bit longer than what it is on the card, but it does talk about the overall influence. It goes a little bit more in depth. You can find out a little bit more about your work and career, along with your finances. So it gives you a little bit more in depth, a little bit more information on that question. You may be asking, how are your finances, or if this is a really good time for an investment. So the book gives you the divination, does give you a little bit of a better understanding. It also talks about relationships and about love, along with health and well-being, which is covered as well. And then I put in also a very good piece of information to do with numerology so that you can get timing out of that. And I also put in Spirit's message, because often we are looking for just some guidance on understanding what is around us, what is going on, what an outcome of a situation may be. And sometimes we need to have that connection back to our inner and higher self, and to be able to know that we are on the right path. And that's why I've added in the area to do with Spirit's information. Now, obviously you'll go on, and it does cover the whole 12 cards very extensively. And then I have in the back what you call a quick reference. Now, in quick reference means that you're able to go in and see, for instance, now we've just been using the color blue. So if the color blue comes in to your life today, you could be finding yourself in a time of all levels of communication. And that is that, so it's saying, you know, what is being said may be also listened to. So it gives you a beautiful quick reference. If you just wanted to pull a card and be able to go through and check out what that card has in relationship with you, then this is where it will come up and give you a quick color reference. So it tells you about key points, which are communication, finding the truth, putting your skills to good use. This is all here. Everything that you need. And also there is a little section in the back which is connected to color combinations as well. So you're able to see if certain colors are coming together in a reading. For instance, you might find that purple and white come together, and I'll just show you. Sorry, let's have a look at silver and white. They're the first two cards I can put my hands on. So you might find silver and white are tending to pop up in your reading, and then you will be able to see that the silver and white combo, it relates to the color gray, and it's showing, you know, that this is a correct time of reflection of what you're asking to better understand and to listen to your higher self. So it gives you a better understanding of what colors can represent and influence in your life, but also it helps you to be able to take that information and to be able to clearly understand what your purpose is at the moment, where you should be heading, and what you should be looking at. And that's what I love about the Color Ask. And I first devised this system back in, I think it was 1994, and I redid the book itself, Color Ask, and made it advanced, and of course spent a lot of time putting the cards together, because I really wanted an easy to use system, one that was going to be honest and give you direction without you feeling as though you're going through a lot of reading to get to those answers. So what I've done is made a simplified system of 12 cards, each having their affirmation, each having a section for relationship, each having a section for your career and your finances, and also a small influence. Yet the book with this, and it's $24.99 for this, but the book and the cards together is a fantastic system. Okay, so we were going to go on to definitions of affirmations. So I released this little deck here, and it's a playing card deck. It has 52 cards in there. It's called Definitive Destinies deck. It's a gorgeous deck on all things positive. So for instance, the deck it'll show you, no matter what your question is, whatever the card that pops out will have a very strong message connected to what you're looking at. So for instance, if the Ace of Spades popped out, it would tell you that you're in a strong period of taking the lead in agreements and situations around you, and it's time to stand in your power. So this would be a really good card to come up in connection with questions to do with negotiation or putting plans and goals together. However, the whole deck itself is filled with some beautiful information on how to better utilize this deck, but also how to gain very quick and simple answers. There's no book. It's all on the cards, and I find this being a very good tool for those that are just starting out or just needing a quick reflection. Now, also talking about books, we have my Messages and Beyond. It is a beautiful compilation of readings that I've done. I think there's about 76 different readings, and these have beautiful messages from those that have passed, our wonderful little loved ones that are on the other side. And these messages that come through are also being validated, so you'll be able to see where people have written back and confirmed the information and validated the messages that have come through. I have met some people through these readings, however 90% of them were people that were part of my group on Carolyn Clairvoyant on Facebook, and I asked if they would like to be participants, and the information that really came through was just absolutely gorgeous. And it really was a very uplifting book that brought a lot of hope, a lot of understanding, but most of all, it also brought through a time of closure and a time for people to know that they're never alone. And that's what the beauty of all of this is about. It is about this wonderful book just filled with absolute gorgeous messages and beyond. And that book there is $12, and you can get all of these from my carolinclairvoyant.com website and also my online store. Okay, so this is another book that I've just released, and it's called Cartomacy Divination, and it's all my tarot deck sitting in here. It's beautifully and colorful on the cover. And inside, you don't need to do anything in particular for this. Well, it is a daily affirmation book. So it's a daily book for just giving you information on what may be important or prevalent. And basically, you just think of something you would like to know about, okay, or what's coming up for me today, what is I should be focusing on, and you just randomly just pick a page, okay? So if I go, my answer come up here in the Three of Wands, and this would be talking about the fact that today the Three of Wands enters your daily influence, signifying travel plans and goals along with potential opportunities arriving. A time in which to feel confident in knowing that which you need could eventuate or be a strong possibility. And then I've also got a Spirit's message down here as well, which is talking about encouraging you to take the time to enjoy good company, personal successes, and some time out with those who matter. Potential success may arrive through new sources or avenues. So it's a really great book, and you don't have to know a lot about tarot to be able to enjoy this. And you've got plenty of beautiful, random forms of information for daily influence, and that's what I love about this. So it's really set for anybody who would like to be able to better enjoy. And you can also get these books on Amazon and also on Lulu as well. Okay, so we're going to talk about my numerology book. Now, I released this earlier this year. It actually came through the necessity of, I had a lot of information over the years in connection with numerology. However, what had happened was I'd upgraded computers and laptops over a period of time, and of course work got lost, and I was to teach a course, and then all of a sudden the paperwork that I usually have was all over the place, and I decided to put it into a book form. So this is a compilation of my work and understanding of numerology. Also, there are some acknowledgements for other people that I have utilized in it being able to put this together. Now, this is a really great book for the beginner, understanding numerology. Okay, and it's able to bring in the areas where you're able to look down and see here that it goes right through from an introduction to working on the alphabet numerology, that's working out your name, looking at your destiny, where you're supposed to be, your personality, life path, and also, different milestones that you will reach in your life. It talks about personal years, personal months, even your home numbers, and it's really got jam-packed full of really marvelous quick reference information. So you're able to quickly pick up this book and be able to work through it effortlessly because I've made it so simplistic. I wanted to ensure that when you were able to sit down and spend time working with numerology and the beautiful vibrations that numbers have, right down to our house numbers and our health and our well-being and so forth, and to be able to get the most from these, because it enables you to better understand yourself and to know your strengths and to encourage you to go through healing, all of the wonderful things that can come from your birth date, from your name, and just aspects of your life as we're transiting through. Because, married women, we often change our name and take on our partner's name. Sometimes even a business name can have a lot to do with the vibration, and that's what this numerology book does. It opens up the opportunity for you to be able to, at a beginner's level, to understand the full concepts of numerology, and then from there you can go on and you are able to better understand what it is that you're trying to achieve through utilizing numbers. And this can be found also on my CarolynClairvoyant.com website. Okay, so we're going to go down to our tarot cards. These are my essential babies. I designed the deck myself, the artwork and the colors to represent what I felt was tarot, what I felt I was drawn to with spirit. So you will find 78 cards here. Now there are two decks. There's this deck, which is the original deck, And then to make it easier for people that didn't want to have to go through and learn a lot about tarot, I released the same deck, but it already has the information sitting on the front. So it's a very quick reference. So for instance, if you were, asking about a question and you wanted to know when the timing was going to come, it would tell you, or what was going to be the issue. It would tell you the past comes back with an offer, or an opportunity. And the reconnection could lead to something more. Peace of mind over decisions being made. So this is what we call the absolute beginner's deck, okay? And you can utilize this with the book, but I do suggest to you, okay, that you don't need to if you want just something very simplistic. 78 cards once again, each of them having information clearly sitting on the front faces, okay? You're able to tap in and utilize your own intuition and be able to advance and grow from there if you wish, or it's just a beautiful simplistic form which enables you to get the most from this deck. And they're $30. Okay, so here we go. So we've got my tarot deck sitting here. We've got our 78 cards, beautifully colorful. There's lots of information on these cards. Just to give you an example, every card has a relationship to the areas of what I call our four bodies. So we have our intellectual cards which come through on our swords, which are action. We have our planning cards, which are our wands. They're our initiator of goals. We have our emotional cards, which are the cups. We have our accumulation and outcome cards, which are known as our pentacles. And we also have our higher vibration cards, which is known as the major arcana. So what I wanted to do was, because a lot of people, when they are learning tarot, want to know specifics. So you may have somebody that comes to you and wants to know about a relationship or a circumstance in their life. Well, what I've done is, with each of the cards, you can see that obviously the sun is part of the tarot deck itself, and this is represented by the sun, so the planet sun. So you will notice that each of the cards in the major arcana, and I'll just get a couple more through for you, okay, will have the relationship connected to the planets, connected to possible letters that may be important, and possible months and timing. So we see that which is normally the Wheel of Fortune. In my deck, it's just called Fortune. It has the planet Jupiter. But see the letters C and K? They're prevalent because people often want to know names, and you may find that a person's name may have the letter C or K, or a country that they're moving towards, or a place that they're moving to. The letters C and K could be important or prevalent. Now, if you look at the temperance, you can see that Sagittarius is important for the temperance, and you can also see that the letter S. So they're quite put through very, very decisively to enable you to get as much information. So for instance, Neptune, which is the hangman, okay, you can see Neptune is the ruler here, and the letter M being important. It just makes things so much more simpler with being able to better understand what or where timing may be, or what is prevalent as far as being able to give a lot more detailed information. And this one here is the Hermit, but as you can see, I call it the retrospect because that's what it's about. And you can see the letters Y, I, and J being very important. So putting it together with my tarot book, okay, you'll be able to see very easy to learn systems. Each of the cards are sitting in here. You've got your upright and your reverse meaning. You've got a very small descriptive in connection with what the card identifies with, but the systems in here and combinations, as I'm saying, so there is so much in here that is so simplistic, right down to how to work with the book, what information is in the book, the cards in upright and reverse meanings, and you can see the highlighted here. This is helping you to keep things down very, very simplistic. And also, apart from the gorgeous layouts that are sitting here, as I've discussed, there's also combinations, which are very significant, because when you're learning tarot, you need to better understand how tarot works. There's a simplified version. This is just picking a number between 1 and 78, or looking up the card meaning in a very simplified way. And this could help just eliminate all that confusion that goes on often in connection with tarot, learning to do tarot. That's what stops people sometimes, is because they don't want to feel overcomplicated. My book gives you the opportunity to understand the seasons, the timing, the meanings in what the cards can bring in, whether they're relating to an emotional or a psychological or even a spiritual crisis, whether you're looking for direction, whether this is travel, whether this is romance. There is so much. And put together with my decks, and of course my book is designed to go with any deck, but put together with my decks, because we are talking about my products. This here can help you to be able to really understand tarot in a very simplistic, beautiful way. And together, $55. So you can also have the opportunity of having a chance to learn with me, which is fantastic. Have 2 30-minute sessions live via Skype or Facebook or whatever area that you choose, and I can teach you the beautiful formulas that go with this, how to read proficiently, how to tune in better to your higher self and well-being. Thank you so much.